Absolutely, absolutely. So I'm a pulmonary and critical care doc, full time, right? My family and I, we live here in Dallas, Texas. I'm actually like my wife and I, we both are physicians, and we both are from South America. We're both from Peru. We came here to the U.S. probably around like 17 years ago, right? Like to continue our training and education. We did our medical school together back in Peru. So we came here, like we did like a residency, then fellowship.
Hello, welcome back to Dad Puzzles. Today we are very honored to have a good friend of mine, Dr. Harry Nima Zegarra. So thank you so much for joining us today, boss.
Hey, Sully, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you, Harry. Thank you. Can you tell dads a little bit about your background?
Yes, man, absolutely, absolutely. So I'm a pulmonary and critical care doc, full time, right? My family and I, we live here in Dallas, Texas. I'm actually like my wife and I, we both are physicians, and we both are from South America. We're both from Peru. We came here to the US probably around like 17 years ago, right? Like to continue our training and education. We did our medical school together back in Peru. So we came here, like we did like a residency, then fellowship, and we have it like in different like states, right? Like as you can imagine, right? Like in training, right? Like in
Right.
Pennsylvania, Virginia, Texas, and finally about 7 years ago, we ended up coming here, like to Dallas, and we really like the area, so we decided to stay here.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you, sir. And like when we were chatting before, I was like, this is something amazing because somebody will imagine, in your field, you don't have time for anything. So how does it happen that you have family, like you take care of the family and you also have to be able to work. And on top of that, in addition to medicine, I think you're also involved in real estate. So can you tell us a little bit about that? This is too much. But
Yeah, that's a lot sentence. No, yeah, that's true, right? Like, I mean, like, so full-time pulmonary critical care.
Mhm.
Like as I was telling you a little bit, like before, I'm
Yeah.
very grateful and blessed that, fortunately, in my practice, there's a good number of physicians, and we also have a nice schedule and split like in different shifts, right? Like, so thankfully, I work like probably 17 to 18 shifts a month. So that gives me the flexibility for the other days to do other things, like again, like a side hustle or real estate, but also especially like to be with the family, right? Like, and again, like our shifts and schedule changes every week is kind of crazy, right? Like, but
Right.
one of the important things, I mean, I usually believe is like again, like to have a good communication with your family, with your wife, like especially like regarding with all the responsibilities and chores that you need to do, and especially like to be also present there for your family and kids.
Right. Oh, that's amazing. So I think like one of the things that helps you is definitely your family, the cooperation with your wife to take care of things together. Like you help each other so that you're able to manage that front, and also with work, you have the good communication with your colleagues, and maybe
Yeah.
like a better schedule, like you mentioned.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, and again, as I mentioned, so my wife and I, we have been married for already like 14 years, yes, since
Mhm.
2007,
Right.
right? Like, so, but we know each other like even longer, like, right? Like,
Yeah.
so we were friends like before, so we knew
Hmm.
each other. So like the communication is there and the trust is there, right? Like, and we're a team, right? Like,
Right.
so we know like that, where we going together.
Oh, that's beautiful, my friend. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. And can you like demystify for dads, one of the things that you think dads think about critical care, and they have this imagination of something, you know, dangerous and scary, and somebody's about to die. So maybe is there anything that you want to share with dads that they should think about it?
Yeah, no, and it is. It is part true, right?
Hmm.
Like, and actually, when I was doing the residency, right, like in my second or third year,
Hmm.
there were many other residents that they didn't really want to go in that rotation because it's time demanding, consuming, and also it takes a lot of effort on you, like a psychological toll on you, right? Like because you're dealing with life or death, as you're saying,
Right.
right? And with patients, and not just with patients, but also with families.
Right.
And many times we don't understand that, and we don't realize that. for anyone to go to the intensive care unit, that's a big thing, right?
Right.
Like so for us, it's like the day to day, and we do that every day. But for anyone else who goes to the ICU, for him or her or their loved ones, it's a huge thing. So
Hmm.
again, like we should again like treat the medical problem, but also the whole as a person and also their families, right? Like
Hmm.
so, and yeah, I mean, like it's not necessarily easy, but at some point you get used to that. At some point, you're
Hmm.
able like to again like to follow with your patients and also like take care of all these things together, right? Like I mean, it takes time, but again, like at the end, it becomes more part of you.
Oh, that's amazing. So let's say, can you, uh, what are the things that you do to be able to stay sane besides the support that you get? Because this is a dad hack that folks will be very happy to learn how to cope with the hardships. In terms of no time, or they have like other problems. They say that they have somebody sick at home, or
Absolutely.
like they're raising their the elderly parents. So you
Yeah.
have all these things in your you know that you have to like deal with. What's the secret that you have that you deal with, that helps you to uh to to come across your life difficulties?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, and that's important, right? Like because we, as physicians, we all deal with that, right? Like so, one of the things is like to try to manage your time, try to manage well your time, right? Like so, be be mindful about that. Time is
Hmm.
something that we're not going to get back. We can
Hmm.
always go and work more. We can always go and do more investments or do side hustles or things, but time is not coming back, right? Like so one of the important things is again like to manage your time, to know and again like to acknowledge what is really important for you. And of course it's like your career
Hmm.
and your medic and the medical field, but also
Hmm.
like the people who is around you, right? Like again, like your family, your loved
Hmm.
ones, your friends, and all of that,
Right.
right? On top of that, and there's also like something that I mentioned to you before in our prior
Hmm.
conversation is that
Right.
again, like we are physicians, and I love being a physician. I really enjoy still that, but we are not only just physicians, right? Like we need to have other interests, other passions in life, right? Like in my case, so for example, right? Like so, I have a side hustle, right? Like I do
Hmm.
real estate too, right? Like and also I like running, right? Like so, like in the last 2 years, I have run a couple of half marathons and full marathons, right? Like
Beautiful.
and
Yes.
also. We also enjoy spending time together as a family, right? Like every time we have free for us, we try to go on vacation, or we just try to go for a walk in the park, or we go like to the weekend game with the kids and all of that, right? Like so,
Hmm.
yeah. So again, like try to find also time for you and your loved ones outside medicine, and that's really powerful, right? Like and recharge you at the end of the day.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, just a side story. I did marathon before in
Is that right?
2010.
Awesome.
2010, and then I stopped, and now I'm not in good shape. I need to get back to it again. That's
Oh, you can
beautiful,
get
my
there.
friend.
You can
Yes,
get
sir.
there. Yeah. And I
Awesome.
mean, it actually something very similar happened to me. So I did a couple of half marathons in 2011, I think, like,
Okay.
and then
Hmm.
like I have two kids, I went through fellowship and all of that, and I stopped doing that
Right.
until just 2 years ago that I
Oh,
started
that's
like doing that
amazing.
again. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So that's the inspiration. I definitely have to look. I have to try to come back to it slowly again.
Yes, man. Yeah.
Are you taking
Definitely.
any supplements on this? Like
No,
like
just
joints?
mainly, yeah, just mainly. I mean, like when you're at our age, I mean,
Right.
obviously, right? It's not as easy as 10 or 20 years ago, right? Like
Right.
so, I make sure that I always am hydrated and I
Hmm.
bring water. And the
Right.
second thing, I bring also like electrolytes and like and sugar, right? Like
Right. Right.
so because after 7 to 8 miles or 10 miles, you start feeling that and your muscles feel that too,
Right.
right?
Right.
Like so,
Absolutely.
yeah, I get prepared for that like before any training.
Awesome. Good job, my friend. I'm so proud of you. Keep, I'll let you know in a couple weeks how I'm doing, because I definitely have to like start slowly. Now the weather's good.
Yeah,
Definitely, my friend.
absolutely.
So is there anything else you would like to share with dads that you know that they should remember in terms of their time with their with their family? Like, I think you mentioned how we have to be aware of the time, that is really, we don't have much time. Is
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That's for me probably the most important part. Um, this is part of the reason why I'm still happy doing medicine. I'm still
Hmm.
happy doing other things outside medicine
Hmm.
because I have the great support from my family. And this is something I mentioned before, right? Like, so again, like in 10 or 15 years from now, the only people who will remember if you are doing now extra hours, if you take an extra shifts, if you work too much, it's going to be your family only. It's not going to be your hospital. It's not going to be your practice. It's not going to be like your boss. It's going to be your family, right? And time doesn't come back, right? Like, so something to be very aware of.
My friend. Thanks so much for doing this. Do you have any other question that you'd like to pose to the next guest that is the dad on this podcast?
No, no. I mean, like again, like thank you so much for the invitation.
Thank
Like
you, my friend.
I'm very grateful. Like I have a great time with you.
Awesome. Thanks so much, my friend. I appreciate you. So, folks, go ahead and how can folks find you? That Harry.
Yeah, so I mean, like as you know, like so I'm a full-time doctor, but also I do real estate, right? Like
Hmm.
and again, like we have my wife and I we have a passion for that, so we're very active, like in LinkedIn. We have also a YouTube channel and all of that. And I
Hmm.
can and I can share like the links with you,
Perfect.
so for people like to be aware of like a little bit of more like a financial independence and doing real estate like independently, but also with other doctors. So yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you. So, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you into the next episode. Thank you. Thank you.